Hello guys, welcome back once again in the another video of JavaScript. So in this video we will talk about map method. So map method in JavaScript is a higher order array method that is used to create a new array by applying a provided function. So provided function actually called a callback function to the each element of an array. So actually it does not modify the original array, but it returns a new array. It transforms every element in array based on the logic provided in the callback function. So actually in the callback function, which logic we provide, so according to logic it transform every element in the array. So actually it transforming data like we want to formatting any element, we want to mapping or extracting any specific part of the object. If we are using a object array, so you can extract the specific part. So map method actually a higher order method. So higher order, you know that higher order function in JavaScript refers to any function that can take another function as an argument and return function as a result. So this type of methods is called a higher order methods. So many array methods in JavaScript are higher order because they take callback function as an argument. So these are the few methods: map, filter, reduce, for each and sort. So all these are called a higher order functions we use in the JavaScript. But in this lecture we will only discuss about the map function. So other methods we will cover in my later videos. So actually next question is that when we should use map. So when actually you need to transform an array into a new array. Example, you want to doubling each number in array, or you want to perform any other action, so you should use map. When you want to perform operation on the each element independent, so you should use map function. So this is the basic example of the when you should use. Suppose this is an array of the elements and you want to perform an operation, you want to doubling of the each number, so you just multiply the num is the array element with a multiplied 2, so it returns a new array, double array, and it will be show like this. So all these we will handle also in the practical example. So it is just for how to use actually the map. Another thing, when to use loop, when you need more control over the iterations, like you want to breaking out the loop, early break, return. So this type of statement, when you need, you want to break the loop, you want to return anything from the loop, or you want to skipping any element using the continue, or you want to modifying the original element, so you should use loop. So this is the basic example of the loop. Suppose this is an array and we are using here a double is a second array we are defining here, and this is the loop we are using here, a for loop. So after multiplying the each element, we are pushing the element inside the array double, and we are showing here a array like this. So loop is actually work like this, but the map function automatically returns a new array. So this is actually the basic difference. So when you want to return a new array and you want to transforming in each element, so you should use map. Definition of the map function: map actually apply always on the array. So this is the name of the array we use in the map function, and then we write map, and then we write here callback, current value, index, array, and this argument. The callback actually a function executed only once for each element in the array, and current value actually the current element being processed. So this is the array element. Index actually the index of the current element. So this is the index of the current element of array, and array actually the original array being processed in which we are performing our operation, and this argument is optional. So actually index, array, and this argument, so all these are the optional. So this is optional. So why we use this? So sometime you want to call back function in map to have access to external object or state, and you use this or to bind the callback this to the object. So when you want to bind the external object, so we use this arg. So this is the basic definition of the map function we use in our code. So now with the practical examples we will learn that how we use the map function. So let's start with the practical example. So first of all we will take an example. Suppose here I am using a const and this is the name of the array is the numbers. So you can take here any element. Suppose I am using 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the 4 elements I am using inside the array, and we will apply map function on this array. So the map function actually return a new array. So we just type here new array, and here we just name the array names, and here we just type map. So map is showing here when you move the cursor on it, so you can select here, and when you see here you can also check the definition of the map function. So here definition of the map function is showing callback, value, index and all these you can read here. So now you need to add here the callback function. So I am using here a callback function. So just select here function, and here you need to add, you can see a definition also, callback function you need here a value, index, array, all these things you can add inside this bracket. So here you can take any name. Suppose I am using here a num is the value of the array, and here I am using a index. You can use here index or you can use here I, j, anything, and here you need to take the name for the array. So this is actually the original array we are using. Suppose here I am using a number, so this will return the number, and inside here we use a bracket, curly braces like this, and when you console this value console.log, so here you can see the output. I want to print here index, and you can also print array here. So another thing, we need to return something from here. Suppose I am returning here a num is the value of the array, and you want to just multiply the num with 2. I am applying transformation of the element of the array, and just print here a new array, because it will multiply the each element of array with the 2 and return all the elements inside a new array, and it will store all the elements in the new array, and we are printing here a new array also. We just save it and just run here. So you can see the output here. First element is the num is 1 and index of this element is 0, and here the whole array is printing because it's actually a whole array we are using. So it will print the whole array, and second element of array is the 2. It will printing here index and array. So all these is printing like this. So but according to definition, one thing is missing, this argument. So this argument is missing, and if you want to use this argument, so we can use external variable with the this. Suppose I am using here a another variable, so this can be any state variable if you are using React and React Native. So this is a, and in this I am using inside a is equal to 5. So how actually we use it? So can we access inside it directly? Suppose I want to use this here. So for this you need to define it. So we need to define it here like this. So this is actually the name of the this argument. So this is the name multiply. So we will add it here, and now with the help of the this, because we use here this, so this dot the name of the object we are using, we can directly now, because when we define it here, so you can directly write here this dot a. So this dot a actually the 5. So I am just commenting here the 2 lines and just save it and just run again. So you can see here the output will be show like this. So it will multiply the each element with the 5, because we can directly use here the external element a, and we are multiply each element with this element. So it will return a new array like this. So this function you can use inside or you can define it outside. Suppose this is a callback function, so I am using here inside. So you can directly cut from here and you can write here like this. And here you need to name of this function. Suppose I am using here a calculate. So you can just copy it and you can just write here. So now it will be work the same way. I just save it and again run it, so it will return the same result as previous. So you can use this callback function inside here, or you can define here outside directly. And suppose you want to use this with the arrow function, so you can also use it with the arrow function. Suppose I am just copy this and I am just removing this function here, and here we just pass the argument num index and another is the name of the array, and here you just use a arrow like this, and we just type here num and just multiply it with the 2, and we just close it like this. So now it will return a new array with multiply the each element with the 2. So you can see here the new array is showing like this, because it is multiply the each element with 2. And another thing, when you want to use the external argument with the arrow function, so you don't need to add the this here. You can directly type here multiplier, and name of the element we are using in this object is the a. So you can directly type here like this, and you can save it and you can use it. So it will return a new array like this. So here I am using a multiplier object. So this is the external object, and with the array we are using it directly. We are not using here this. So another example I can take here. Suppose I am using here any string. So this is index and array is optional. You can use it or you can not use it. So you can directly use here a single element of array. So I am just using here is str. So it can be any name. So now we are using a string type array. So I am using here a str, and we are transforming array. Suppose you want to apply here any function to uppercase. So I just want to use here uppercase. So the new array will return a array of element. So the new array will return a uppercase string array. So all these elements will be shown in a uppercase. So transforming actually a operation we apply on the array elements. Suppose you want to extracting a specific property. Suppose I am using here another array. I am using here a object array. Suppose this is the first object, and in this object I am using a name. So people actually a name of the array, and these are the object of array. So here it can be any object. Suppose you want to extract any element of array. Suppose I am using here a person. Now I am using a object. Actually this is the name of the array element is the person I am using here, and I am just extracting an element. Suppose you want to extract here name, so you just type here name, and this will return a new array. So all the people name will be shown in the new array. Suppose you want to extract here age, so you just type here age and you just save it, and here only the ages of the people will be shown. Suppose you type here undefined and null, and here you just type here item, and I want to just return this item into the new array and just run this, so it will show you like this. So the undefined and it will return a null. And if suppose if you don't define inside anything in the array, suppose this is the blank array and you just run it, so it will show a blank array. This will not execute for the blank array, so it will only execute when the value exists inside the array. And suppose these are the name of the people is the this is the Bob. So these are the name of the people, and suppose I am just using here this, so it will return here the name of the people. But if you use here function, because I am using here a array, but I am using here now a function, callback function, and here I am just using a single element person, so you need to add here curly braces, and suppose you just type here person, and now you save it and you run, so it will return a undefined, because when you use here function, so it must you should be use here return, otherwise it will return a undefined value. But when you use arrow function, so return is not compulsory. Without return it return a new array. So here I am using a function as a callback function. Here I am using a regular function, so you need to add here return. So now I just run it, so it will return a new array. So I hope this video is very helpful, that how we use the map function in our code. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.